Should we tell him? Should we tell him? Hi, welcome. I'm Kim and this is my channel, Dorothy's Daughter. If you love sewing clothes that fit well, feel great, and reflect your personal style, you found your sewing home. Before we dive into today's project, I want to introduce you to someone very, very special who's become a part of my sewing room and a part of my heart. This is my Cavapoo puppy, Bobbin. As you all know, the past few years have brought some pretty sad losses in my life, and it's been a season of healing and mending, not just the fabric, but also my life and heart. And little Bobbin has had a big part in that. She's brought a kind of comfort I didn't even realize I needed. She's always here, whether I'm threading a needle or wrestling with a tricky hem, or just wrestling with a life decision. Just need a cuddle. She's my little shadow, and I love her very much. She actually needs a trim really, really bad, but I didn't want to delay this video any more than I already have. So here's Bobbin, and next week she'll be all pretty with a new trim, but she's my cuddle bug. So if you hear a little bark or little feet on my floor, or see her make a little guest appearance in the background, now you know. Bobbin is officially my channel mascot. Alright, so in today's video, I'm sharing with you 7 easy steps to hacking a pattern, whether it is modifying a single pattern or combining parts of several. The same principles will apply. I will show you how I followed these steps to create this jean jacket from the bluegrass blouse pattern from Love Notions. So here are the 7 steps, and then I will follow with how I accomplished the bluegrass jacket. Step 1, find your inspiration. Kind of comes in all different ways. Maybe it's a photo that you saw online, something on Pinterest, something you spotted while shopping, or a detail from a favorite piece in your closet even that you just want to duplicate. For me, the idea for this project came from I just loved the lines of the bluegrass blouse from Love Notions. And then I saw this beautiful floral design from Laurel Burch. I've loved that designer forever. And when I saw her embroidery designs available, I just had to use them on a project. So combining the two, I came up with the idea of doing a bluegrass jacket from the Love Notions bluegrass pattern.
Step 2 would be to start with a good pattern, or even maybe more than one.
Think of it as like building blocks. If you want to build something new, you need a strong foundation. So in my case, I started with the Love Notions bluegrass pattern. 1, because I know that it's great to sew, and 2, because Love Notions always fits me. I know exactly what I need to do to get the fit perfect on those patterns.
The third step is to sketch it out.
You don't have to be an artist to get your idea on paper. Just kind of sketch out a little drawing. I like to use the line drawing from the pattern and then alter it by drawing different features on it. And you can just start sketching your ideas out, and it kind of helps me see what changes I want to make and what it's going to look like. And I kind of go top to bottom. So I asked myself, what needs to change? Do I need a different sleeve, a different bodice, different skirt, an added feature? Sometimes if I match together parts of different patterns, it gets me closer to the vision that I want to end up with.
Step 5, think about ease.
Think about design ease versus wearing ease. Now, this might be new to some of you, but ease is the amount that's extra above your body measurements. So wearing ease is what's needed to make a garment wearable without restricting your movement or bunching up or pulling. Design ease is what's needed to give it character, like a flowy skirt or a wide leg pant, something like that. But I also think about how the changes I'm making might affect the fit. For example, I'm making a jacket, so I know I'm going to want a little more room. So I need to put more ease, so I put it over a shirt or a blouse so I basically sized up on this project just to make sure I would have the room to put it over my clothes.
Step 6 is tricky. Watch for the domino effect.
So anytime you swap out a major part, you have to keep an eye on where that piece is going to connect to the rest of the garment. For example, if you're swapping out a sleeve, you also need to copy the arm side onto the other pattern. So one change can create a domino effect through the whole garment. So just make sure whatever you're connecting that you're putting the pieces together and not creating difficulty for yourself.
Step 7. Start with accurate measurements.
If I'm adding length or creating a new piece, I always start with new measurements of myself. Or if I'm doing something that fits me really well and it's similar to something I have in my closet, I will pull that out and measure that, which is what I did for this project. I used my existing jean jacket to kind of see what the character of the jean jackets, how big the pockets were, that kind of thing. Don't guess. And I suggest remeasuring yourself every time you make a new pattern or if a couple months go by, because as ladies, our weight goes up and down, our measurements go up and down, and it's always good to have accurate measurements. Now let me walk you through the changes I made to my bluegrass to make it a jacket. And then I will go into more depth as to how I did it and show you a tutorial on the parts that I changed. My inspiration that sparked it all was a Laurel Burch embroidery design that I saw on oesd.com. I grabbed the Love Notions bluegrass pattern because I loved the lines of it, so I thought I could make a jacket out of that. It has similar lines to a jean jacket, and I just wanted to challenge myself to make that into a jacket, and the embroidery was something that I knew I had to use on something. So I sketched it out, and first I used bull denim because I had bull denim on hand. It's kind of heavy and it's stiff, so I sized up to make it more of a jacket, and I gave it ease for wearing over other clothing. And wherever there was a facing or a lining, I used quilting cotton because I didn't want to add more bulk. Also, I did not use any interfacing on the jacket itself because the denim really did not need it. I even got away with just using 2 fat quarters for everything that I did inside the jacket. I looked at other jean jackets for inspiration, and I decided to skip the yokes and the pockets on the front just so that there would be room for the embroidery. I didn't want anything to distract from that beautiful embroidery. But I did want pockets, so instead I added welt pockets to the sides. They were clean, functional, and they don't interfere with the design. So for length, I cut the body just below the waist, and I added a 2-inch band at the bottom, and I finished it off with jean buttons. And that is all the changes that I made. So now I'm going to show you exactly how I accomplished it.
So a few tips about embroidering and being able to line everything up well. I go ahead and I take a piece of fabric without cutting the piece out. I go ahead and I trace the outline of the pattern so that I can make the placement of the embroidery, and if it ends up being a little bit off, I can adjust before I actually cut out the piece. I've covered machine embroidery in other videos, so I won't go into great detail here, but I did want to show you how beautifully that design stitched out. Take a piece of fabric at least 5 inches wide and at least 1 inch taller than the pockets, and put them right sides together. Draw a box on top at least a 1/2 inch wide, and then after that you're going to take it over to the machine and stitch around that box. You've got right sides together with the smaller piece of fabric on the bottom. Cut down the center of your box, and then about a 1/2 inch from the edge, go ahead and clip into the corners, going right up to the corners for nice, perfect turn. I'm going to do that on both ends. Pull a smaller piece of fabric around to the back and press in place. You're then going to make a simple fold right across that opening. And then you're going to press that in place as well. And this is actually creating the welt of your pocket. So once you press that in place, you're going to pull it to the right side and press in place. Then you'll go over to the sewing machine and sew 1/8 of an inch from the edge all the way around. Press, and then on the inside, you're going to go ahead and just leave about 1.5 to 2 inches on either side of the welt in the back. I sewed it to a piece of quilting cotton that was large enough to loop all the way around from the side of the welt, creating a big loop from the side seam all the way over to the placket, and then back to the pocket side again. You'll want it to spill over a little bit on both edges so that you have excess that can be cut off after those seams are sewn. So my apologies that my overhead camera wasn't working during this phase, but as you can see, the cotton reaches all the way from the placket to the side seam and is caught on 3 different seams: the waistband, the placket, and the side seam. And then I simply bound with bias binding on the top. Start by measuring the bottom of the jacket all the way from placket to placket. And then you're going to add 1 inch to that measurement. Cut that length of fabric 5 inches wide. Keep in mind that depending on your fabric, you may have to add seam allowance and sew 2 pieces together. Press under a 1/2 inch on one side and then pin right sides together. Take it to the sewing machine and sew the band onto the jacket, right sides together. At each end, fold the band back over itself toward the front and line your stitching up with the seam allowance. Clip the corners and remove as much bulk as possible from that corner and turn. Use a chopstick or point turner to make that point as crisp as possible on either side. Press well. Top stitch all the way around 1/8 of an inch from the edge.
So remember, take it one step at a time. Get it on paper. Sketching things out can really help you make decisions before you even touch fabric, and don't be afraid to try. This jacket, I feel so proud when I wear it. There's something really special about wearing clothes you designed yourself. It boosts your confidence, and I've even had people stop me to ask about it. So grab your inspiration, your favorite pattern, and just start playing. That's it for today. If you liked this video and would like to know when I post a new video, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, if you'd like a discount on the bluegrass pattern and other patterns from Love Notions, you can go ahead and use the coupon code that's in the description down below. And you can also check out my Amazon store for my favorite sewing things that you can find right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, hold your loved ones close because life is short. Have a wonderful day and happy sewing.